from the Dominican Republic. It is the Dominican Republic and Belize tonight in Group D, as the Dominican Republic faces a match where they must take all 3 points to realistically keep their hopes of qualification alive. I'm Donnie Barnes. Our match time conditions, 79 degrees. It is breezy, but otherwise very pleasant conditions for an important match here tonight. These two sides, of course, vying to reach the Concacaf W Gold Cup later this year. This is Group D. Currently, Suriname 4 points from 2 matches played. Everybody else has only played 1 thus far. Now, Haiti are the big group favorites. And remember, only the group winners reach that final competition. And so, for the Dominican Republic, after stumbling to a 2-2 draw in their first qualifying match a couple months ago in the first window of this competition, they really need all 3 points tonight to stay within touch of Haiti, whom they will play next month in the final qualifying window of this qualifying cycle. And so if the Dominican Republic can win their next 2 matches leading up to that showdown with Haiti, they would at least give themselves a chance to be able to beat Haiti head-to-head and leapfrog them in the group potentially. But if they drop more points here tonight or in their next couple matches, then Haiti could be already out of sight by the time they match up in the final game of this group. Dominican Republic, that 2-2 draw, as mentioned, against Suriname in their first outing a couple months ago. That was a game where they fell behind 2-0 in the first 5 minutes. They spent the rest of the game battling back and eventually equalized with about 5 minutes to go. Couldn't quite find a winner, though, so they had to settle for that draw, which was disappointing from their standpoint, despite the good rally. The Dominican Republic, of course, a side who reached the first edition of this competition a couple years ago, as they qualified for the play-in game and defeated Guyana 1-0 to qualify for the competition proper. That was certainly a historic moment for the Dominican Republic women's soccer program. This time around, off to a tough beginning and facing a Belize side who are coming off a very difficult result in their opener on November 30th when they were beaten by group favorites Haiti by 9-0. And because of the unforgiving nature of this qualifying tournament, where again only the group winners go through to the Concacaf W Championship in November of this year, that does mean there's no margin for error. So Dominican Republic drawn in the same group with Haiti. That's tough, since both those sides would certainly be sides that would expect to be in that final competition, but only one of them can go. And of course, that Concacaf W Championship final tournament in November is how you qualify for the Women's World Cup and for the Olympics in 2028. So for the Dominican Republic, all of those dreams over the next couple of years would be in the balance if they can't get a positive 3-point result here tonight. And for Belize, trying to continue their development and their improvement, this is a program that's come a long way in just the last several years after having never won a competitive match until just a few years ago. So the Dominican Republic in the navy blue tops and bottoms, Belize wearing the white with the blue sleeves and red trim. So these two sides will line up here at the Estadio Cibao, and in just a moment we'll hear the national anthems of these two sides, of these two nations, and then see starting 11s and kickoff. It is the Dominican Republic and Belize in the Concacaf W Qualifiers next.
Para ahora escuchar el himno nacional de Belice, seguido por el himno nacional de República Dominicana.
The national anthems of the Dominican Republic and Belize tonight before this crucial Concacaf W Qualifier. The Dominican Republic needing 3 points to stay within touching distance of Haiti, and for now with Suriname at the top of this group, with so little margin for error as they try to qualify for that Concacaf W Championship final tournament this November. We'll see the starting 11s for these two sides in just a moment as we see our match officials currently decked out in yellow and black tonight. And so for the designated home side, the Dominican Republic with Gomez in goal, Reed, Cuevas, Tapia, and Colon across their back line, Diaz, Marte, and Peralta in the midfield, a front three of Vargas, the captain Oviedo, and Asenjo. Head coach Betsaida Ubri has had quite a journey through Dominican football over the last 15 years and leading this national side and this national program now. Our match officials are led tonight by Isabel Barrias of El Salvador, assisted by Elizabeth Aguilar and Shireen Alene, and Odette Hamilton is the fourth official tonight. Sabrina Aile and Alyssa Oviedo wearing the respective armbands as the captains of their two nations. And now the starting 11 for Belize, as they have Angelica Lopez in goal, a back five of Bernardez, Lambert, Chacon, Bowden, and Lino, Narvaez, Terry, and Eiley in the midfield, and Nunes and Velasquez up front. Wayne Casemiro is the head coach for Belize. He's done a good job building up this program over the last half-decade. After they had not won a competitive match before he took over, he has made them very respectable, but it was difficult for them against Haiti a couple months ago in the first match of these qualifiers, and they will certainly be underdogs again here tonight, facing a nation hosting this match and a nation that is expected to continue to raise their own ceiling after qualifying for that first ever Concacaf W Gold Cup in 2024, winning that dramatic play-in match against Guyana, going up against the likes of the United States in the group phase of that competition. They want to keep themselves in contention to reach the Women's World Cup and the Olympics in 2027 and 2028. And this qualification tournament, to then qualify for the final tournament in November, is the pathway to do that. But the road is certainly narrow, and the margin for error, as we mentioned, already paper thin coming into this one. So the Dominican Republic will kick off wearing the blue. And our center referee, Isabel Barrias, ready to blow the opening whistle. We are rolling in the Dominican Republic. It is the Dominican Republic and Belize. And qualification for the Concacaf W Championship to be played later this November. 29 nations in total participating in these qualifiers, divided into 6 groups, and again, only the group winners go through. This is Group D. Other teams in this group, Haiti, Suriname, and Anguilla. Mentioned Suriname, top of the group coming into play tonight because they've already played 2 matches, a win and a draw for them. That draw came against the Dominican Republic at the end of November. Remember, these qualifiers being played across 3 international windows. The first in late November, the first couple days of December. This one here over the next week or so. And then the final international window in the middle of April. So for the Dominican Republic, from their perspective, nothing less than a win, and 3 points tonight will be good enough. This will be an early free kick for them after a heavy challenge. It was absorbed by Winabian Peralta, who plays for Necaxa in Mexico. There's a look at Betsaida Ubri, who's the all-time leading scorer for the Dominican women's national side. She began her coaching journey when she was still playing. She took over the Dominican U17 side while still playing for the senior women's national side. Now transitioning fully into coaching. She's also helping head up the project that is hoping to create a Dominican Women's Football Domestic League over the next few years. So much work being done behind the scenes, as there is in so many of these CONCACAF nations, to build the infrastructure around the game, both on the women's and the men's sides. This is an early corner for the Dominican Republic. They, of course, would love to find a goal early on to settle the nerves and put themselves on the right path. Belize, of course, after absorbing that 9-0 defeat against Haiti a couple months ago, they want to keep themselves in this as long as they can. See if they can cause a big shock. In-swinging ball with the right foot toward the top of that 6-yard area. That's a classy takedown, but then the touch may be a bit too heavy in the end. And Belize look to break out. That breakout swiftly curtailed. Good work by Gabriela Cuevas. Long ball down this right side. Sprinting after trying to keep it in play. Not quite. It'll be a goal kick. There's lots of space down that right flank. Angelina Vargas plays for Brown University in the United States. This Dominican side heavily recruited from amongst both dual nationals, players playing in the U.S. for some college programs. Lucia Marte, the number 14 in their starting 11, plays for Wellington Phoenix and previously played in the WSL in England. Belize trying to get a few bodies forward in the attack for the first time. Daliana Gomez, who plays at Florida International University, with her first touch and goal for the Dominican Republic. There is Wayne Casemiro, the head coach of this Belize side. Long background in education, but has steadily worked through his CONCACAF licenses over the last handful of years. He's at least picked up a couple of those CONCACAF level licenses, as Winnabian Peralta down again in the center circle after another moment of contact. Wayne Casemiro, though, head coach of the women's national team, also head of coaching education for the Belize Federation. Dominican Republic onto the attack. The flag has stayed down here as it's served out to this left-hand side. Cross-headed clear for the moment. Some shouts for handball, and that is given now, and a free kick for Belize. And speaking of Wayne Casemiro, though, Belize head coach, when he took over the women's program, I mentioned they'd never either won or even drawn. They'd never gotten a point from a match in CONCACAF competition. They had only suffered a string of heavy defeats, so he's built the program from the ground up, starting with the U15s and U17s and working his way up. Their breakthrough was during the last qualifying cycle, the Concacaf W Championship qualifying in 2022. They recorded their first ever draw in April 4 years ago, and then their first ever win a few days after that. So those were watershed moments for the program. Dominican Republic attacking down the right side, and they'll have a corner here, their second of these opening minutes. Then the signature achievement for Belize so far came the next year in 2023, the CONCACAF Women's Nations League C. Belize had a perfect record in League C that year. They won all 6 of their group matches, earned promotion to League B. They were celebrated with a motorcade, a parade in Belize. Certainly a historic achievement for them, trying to build on that in this qualifying cycle, but they give away a free kick here right on the edge of the penalty area, just outside the 18, where that contact took place once again on Winnabian Peralta, who's had a tough start to this game physically. She's been on the receiving end of 3 different challenges already. So an attacking free kick coming up for the Dominican Republic with 7 minutes on the clock. So it looks like it will be 4 in the wall for Belize. Angelica Lopez. See if she gets tested from this free kick. It is Winabian Peralta playing it low, and it's volleyed wide. Decent delivery. It did take a deflection, apparently, so it will be another corner. So this will be corner number 3 already for the home side. Driven in, not cleared properly, comes to the back post, big block there. Trying to tee it back up, and then it's hammered away. Well, it wasn't well dealt with initially by Belize, but they do enough. Spaces on these flanks for the Dominican in these early minutes. Stella Tapio plays at the University of Michigan. Crossing from that left side. Now on the top of the area, looking for space, and there's lots of room out wide for Lucia Marte, whose ball in front wasn't redirected on goal, and it's a goal kick. It was a decent opportunity for Maya Asenjo. She's onside, timed the run well, but couldn't quite get her foot wrapped around that. Defender doing just enough to put her off, staying on her shoulder. Oh, and that ball into the middle was dangerous, and it's given away. Dominican Republic looking to capitalize. Stepping onto her right foot. Forced wide and then tackled off it eventually. Good last-ditch defending from Belize after they put themselves in trouble. Angelina Vargas looked like she'd been played in, but never quite had the angle to take the shot. Now along the end line, great roll with the shoulders, then the cutback. Key block, second ball off the line. Dominican Republic pounding on the door, haven't broken it down just yet. And now their attack breaks down, and Belize look to break the other way. Home side win it back quickly and rewind again, and that ball down the middle. Trying to release Maya Asenjo, but runs all the way through to Lopez instead. It's good pressure being applied by Belize forward. Elva Nunes trying to lead the line there and did well to apply enough of a press to force the throw. Then the flag goes up. It was a decent idea, that little slipped ball after the look away down that right side, but it will be a free kick for the Dominican Republic. It was such a big moment for this Dominican Republic program 2 years ago when they qualified for the play-in match, the inaugural Concacaf W Gold Cup. They turn it over here. Belize looking to get bodies forward, and they have it with Nunes, who looks to slip through a teammate, but too many navy blue shirts crowding it out. Belize had something on there for just a moment. Now the counterattack sees a ball that's much too heavy and gathered up by Lopez at the other end. The Dominican Republic, after qualifying for that play-in game 2 years ago, then defeating Guyana 1-0 in a hard-fought victory to qualify for the group stage proper. So that was such a wonderful building block for them. Hoping to keep their World Cup dreams alive in these qualifiers. The two automatic qualifiers who are already in the final W Championship tournament this November, the United States and Canada, the top two ranked national sides in the region. Here come the Dominican now, edge of the 18. Jasmine Diaz forced off it. Belize defending in their own penalty area has been good so far. So with the United States and Canada receiving a bye to that final tournament, I mentioned 29 other sides entering qualification, drawn into these 6 groups. This is Vargas along the end line. It's staying in play and is clipped out. It'll be a Dominican Republic throw with 13 on the clock. So 6 groups, single leg round robin tournament during these 3 international windows. So everybody in this group playing a total of 4 matches. This is match number 2 for these 2 sides. Good surging run down this left side, but then the recovery tackle. Belize continue to do what they need to do on the edge of their own area. Dominican Republic continue to try to expose those flanks. Ball driven in low. Those crosses haven't quite been precise enough. That's a great touch from Marte. And then Marte, another good tackle. Shadet Lino defending for Belize. Throw bouncing into the box. Marte. Forced to pull it back. Marte kept it in play. Belize didn't think so. Cross in. Oh, they had 2 players crashing in. The flag was up for offside, though. Angelina Vargas cutting in front of her teammate. Yeah, she was just offside. Her teammate coming in behind her was not, it appeared. And so if Vargas had been able to leave that for Maya Asenjo looked poised to bury it, but easy to save from here. Here's another chance now for Vargas. The tackle is in. It's a goal kick, or is it a corner now? Referee now points for a corner. It's a wonderful last-ditch challenge again. As once again, Angelina Vargas looked like she was through. Joshua Bernardez sliding in at just the key moment. 4th corner already for the Dominican. Taken by Jasmine Diaz this time. Outswinging ball lifted in. The free header, and they score! The opening goal that they were desperate for, and the Dominican Republic, in a must-win match, are on the board in the 16th minute through Brianne Reed. There have been a couple warning signs from these free kicks and set pieces already. Some free headers previously, and this time Belize get punished. Brianne Reed arriving at the right moment. They never picked up her run. Almost from a standing position, able to power that over the goalkeeper and into the net. Strong header, Brianne Reed. A defender who doesn't score that many, but a big one there. Now they look for another one straight away. Great touch to the inside. They're through again. It's 2-0. Maya Asenjo finishes this one, and it's 2 goals in 2 minutes for the Dominican Republic. First from a set piece, then from open play. And after Belize had defended well for the first 15 minutes, they're undone in the span of 60 seconds. Wonderful dribble from Asenjo to take her past the defender. Watch this touch right here. Clips it inside the defender, takes it through herself, and calmly slots it into that far side. Now Belize looking to break through on the other end, but calmly picked up by Odaliana Gomez. So if there were any nerves building for the Dominican Republic over the fact that they hadn't found a breakthrough for the first 15 minutes despite some good opportunities, those nerves will have been settled now. And of course, goal differential, the primary tiebreaker, as you see 72% of the ball so far for the home side, which is about what we were expecting. But goal differential, the primary tiebreaker, as usual in these competitions. So it never hurts to score more. Player down for Belize, and play is stopped as Joshua Bernardez has pulled up. That was a bit of an awkward pass out from Bernardez and may have landed awkwardly after that kick. Well, Betsaida Ubri knows all about scoring goals, of course. Dominican Republic's head coach. All-time leading scorer for this program. Of course, she hopes to see her number surpassed by some of these players in the future, but one of the best players the Dominican Republic have had. Now hoping to lead them to further glory as head coach. Well, from the restart, Dominican Republic straight back to the attack. Vargas. Vargas pulls it across. Unrelenting pressure now. Switch to the right side. That's a great ball and a good take by Marte. Marte's cross to the back stick was a nice idea. Asenjo couldn't quite arrive in time. Neither could Lucia Marte. Dominican Republic winning balls back right away and getting straight back to the attack. This cross in, and it bounces just past Vargas. This will be another corner. Now the outswinging corner from Jasmine Diaz. Oh, it bounced just over the head of Brianne Reed, who's already scored once from a corner tonight. There's the scoring so far. Reed in the 16th, Asenjo technically in the 18th, as this one bounces all the way through, and they score again, kissing in off the post. That was probably meant to be a cross. Doesn't matter. Dominican Republic have a third goal midway through the first half. Well, after it was recycled by Reed, this was a header then. It came off a Dominican head, didn't it, from that far side of the box. The ball in is from Peralta, and then the header runs all the way through. So maybe not meant to be a cross then, but probably meant as a flick on. But Gabriela Cuevas happy to take the credit and the goal. Turned out to be perfectly placed. Now Belize finding it more and more difficult as this first half goes on. This is a goal kick. Now Maya Asenjo with that first goal has been the leader of this attack in recent months. Played for UCF collegiately in the United States. As the Dominican Republic take this free kick quickly, and they release Vargas, whose attempt to pull it back came off the defender. This is Breanne Reed, the scorer of the opening goal from that corner. She is the veteran of the squad, 31 years old, experienced center back. You could see how delighted everybody was for her when she scored. It's currently not attached to a club, so even more meaningful, I'm sure, for her to score that goal and to get to be part of this Dominican national side still. Winnabian Peralta keeping that ball moving. Plays her club soccer in Costa Rica currently. Scored a couple goals during their W Gold Cup qualifying run a couple years ago. They're happy to knock it around for now and look for more openings to get forward, which they find now. Lots of space for Vargas. Vargas pulling it back to the top of the 18. Good first touch. Thinking about shooting was Oviedo. Now Tapia. Ball wide, well weighted. And then in front it goes, but the flag is up and the header was over the bar anyway. Vargas again getting herself in a good area though. Well, all 8 shots in the match belonging to the Dominican Republic and all 3 goals as well. Belize finding it difficult to make their way up the pitch. Trying to release over the top, though. They have shown a couple flashes of danger when they've been able to get Elva Nunes on the run. That time they were trying to release Kalidia Velasquez. If the Dominican Republic win this match, they would, at least for now, go to the top of this group as things stand. They would go to 4 points, but they'd have a better goal differential than Suriname, although they give this one away, and it's a chance for Narvaez, who puts it straight at the goalkeeper. First shot for Belize, and their first on target as well. First shaky moment for the Dominican Republic as that giveaway gave Belize something to grab onto potentially, but they couldn't capitalize. But if the Dominican Republic can win this game and continue to pull away in the goals column, they've already surpassed Suriname's goal differential. Remember, Suriname have already played 2 matches and are on 4 points. So this will be a free kick for Belize. So that would put Dominican Republic at the top of the group for now. They would have played 1 game more than Haiti, of course. Haiti with that 9-0 win over Belize back in November. And Haiti play on the 3rd of March in this window in Paramaribo against Suriname, which could be a proverbial banana skin, or banana peel. But they'll certainly still be favored in that match. The Dominican Republic will be hoping that Suriname can do them a favor after holding them to a draw in November. This will be a free kick for the Dominican Republic along that touchline. Again, with only the group winners going through to that final tournament in November, the Dominican Republic will play another match in this window in Anguilla on the 6th of March, so a week from today. So then in that final window of qualifying in April, the Dominican Republic will only have 1 match remaining. Haiti will play 2 in that final window. They'll play at home to Anguilla and then at home to the Dominican Republic. As we're past the half-an-hour mark here, and this free kick for the Dominican Republic delivered by Jasmine Diaz. Heads go up. Again, Belize not dealing with it all that well. And then it takes a deflection and spins out. This will be another corner. So all that to say, the Dominican Republic, after dropping points against Suriname in their opener in early December, they know that they have to win tonight. And they have to beat Anguilla on March the 6th. And then they'll have over a month to prepare for that showdown with Haiti. They'll hope, of course, that maybe Haiti might drop points somewhere before then, but even if they don't, Dominican Republic would still have a chance head-to-head if they could win that game. As this is bent in with the right toward the back post and flicked back out for another corner. April 17th is when Haiti will face the Dominican Republic in what most neutral observers expect to be the group decider. Of course, you never know. Suriname have gotten off to a good start. They beat Anguilla in their first match before that draw against the Dominican. This is driven in. Goalkeeper out to get something on it. Dominican Republic back in possession. Diaz again, this time with her left foot. And now offside. And a free kick for Belize. So that Suriname-Haiti match on March 3rd in just a few days' time in Paramaribo, that will be an interesting one. And Haiti will be favored to win fairly handily, but Suriname has shown that they're a side to be reckoned with in these qualifiers already. Again, for Suriname against the Dominican Republic on December 2nd, it was almost even better. Scored twice in the first 5 minutes to take a rather stunning 2-0 lead. Dominican Republic got a goal back in just the 16th minute, but then it took until the 85th to find the equalizer, and they weren't able to find a winner. Now, this is Brianne Reed, who has come over to the touchline. Apparently needs some retaping. Dominican Republic away on the counter again. A slaloming run from Maya Asenjo, but then she runs out of space. Belize having trouble connecting passes forward, though. Hunted down by Peralta again. Reed, Asenjo, Cuevas, the goal scorers so far. A 3-goal barrage in a 7-minute span. And then toward the near post this goes. Belize able to deal with that. Those 3 goals have the Dominican Republic in firm control, and then that ambitious effort swerves wide. Winnipeg Peralta, as one of the more experienced members of this group, has license to unleash from distance. Dominican Republic with that high press, and it almost paid off again. There goes Vargas down that flank, able to motor past one. And Vargas cross. Another corner upcoming. Dominican Republic headed towards double figures in corners just in the first half at the rate they're going. Not there just yet, but it has felt that way. Jasmine Diaz again. Jasmine Diaz actually led this side in scoring during their road to that W Gold Cup in 2024. She scored 4 goals during that qualifying run. Ten minutes to go in this first half. Dominican Republic well on top, as they were expected to be. And they could be in again. And shouts for a penalty. Referee says no. Belize have had just a couple moments in attack in this first half where something was nearly on. One came from a Dominican mistake. The other was a simple ball over the top. They do have some speed up front if they can bring it into play. They just haven't been able to do that very much. This ball will stay in play along this touchline. Lots of time to deliver across. And then Vargas. A ball that may have been heading wide. Picked up by Lopez. Belize have something down this left side. Not a lot of help in the box for Kalidia Velasquez. Squeezed out by 2 defenders. Now the long switch of play. It's a wonderful ball forward into the path of Oviedo. Alyssa Oviedo, the captain, on her right foot, and just wide. Well, Alyssa Oviedo playing for Puebla FC. Nearly curled that inside the far post. We had 2 games yesterday in this competition. Guyana with a 3-0 win over Dominica. That was in Group B. Guyana now on 3 points from 2 games played. Nicaragua, the big favorites in that group, along with Jamaica. Actually, Jamaica, the prohibitive favorites. Nicaragua, the second favorites coming in. It's Nicaragua, 2 wins from 2. Jamaica have only played 1 match so far, which they won 18-0. So Nicaragua on top right now, pending Jamaica's second match in the competition. But Guyana with a win. Remember, Guyana came within inches, really, of that first ever W Gold Cup a couple of years ago when they lost to the Dominican Republic in that play-in match. So 1-0 defeat that they were very much in until the final kick. So that's a tough group as well, Group B. Whistle goes here and a free kick for Belize. The other game that took place yesterday, Puerto Rico, a dominant 10-0 win over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That was in Group A, which is a really interesting group as well. Puerto Rico and Mexico, both in that group. See the fouls. Belize have been whistled for a half a dozen so far. Dominican Republic hunting that 4th goal before halftime. Neat combination on the edge of the area. Reset with Tapia. Marte steps around one. Not a second. Over the top. This is where they try to bring that speed into play, Belize. It's good defending. Well played by Gabriela Cuevas. Group A, though, really interesting. Puerto Rico, 2 wins out of 2, 17 goals scored, none conceded. Mexico, meanwhile, have only played 1 match in the competition, which they won 14-0 over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Again, as with all these groups, there can only be one. Tonight, so far, it has been all Dominican Republic. Reed, Asenjo, and Cuevas, 7 minutes apart. With only the group winners going through to that final tournament in November, one of Puerto Rico and Mexico are going home early. Mexico the favorites, but it's certainly far, far from settled yet. This will be another corner coming up for the Dominican Republic. The way Concacaf always structures these tournaments, the 2 highest seeded sides will face off last in the group. It's one of the ways CONCACAF creates great late drama in these competitions, where usually the 2 biggest heavyweights in the group face off last, often to decide the group and who goes through to that next round. And we figure to have plenty of these matchups coming up in April in this competition. But the road to get there, what kind of shape you'll be in when you arrive in those key matches, so important, of course. As the cliche goes, you can't win it yet, but you can certainly lose it in these early matches. This will be another free kick. Flag has gone up for a while. Referee letting play go on as the Dominican Republic judged to have an advantage, and now it looks like that advantage was long enough to wipe out the foul. And now to the back post, a good teasing ball in. There were 2 navy blue shirts in the area. It'll be a goal kick with just a few minutes remaining of this opening half. A little loose in the midfield for the Dominican, but they get it right back. There's that speed between the lines now. Settled by Oviedo, but she was offside. There's one other game on the docket for tonight, by the way, in this competition. That'll be starting at 8 o'clock U.S. Eastern Time. Guatemala at home to Grenada. And then tomorrow, Cuba and Curacao, El Salvador against Barbados. Followed on Monday by St. Lucia and Mexico, and Nicaragua and Jamaica. That'll be an intriguing one, Nicaragua-Jamaica, in a couple days' time. Because, again, Jamaica, the heavy favorites in that group, and Nicaragua having already won both of their matches so far, and they're playing at home against Jamaica in that one on the 2nd. So a tricky one for Jamaica to navigate. We'll see how they do. Back pass a little loose and sloppy and given away, and then the chip is wide. Well, that's two of those slack back passes for the Dominican Republic in this first half. Kalidia Velasquez not able to execute the chip the way she was hoping. She was trying to catch out Odaliana Gomez. So there have been a few glimpses for Belize in this first half that if they've been able to capitalize on a bit better, this game could look a bit different. As we tick into first half stoppage time, we'll see how much of it there will be. 2 minutes is the response from fourth official Odette Hamilton. Is there a fourth goal in this opening half to come for the Dominican Republic? Not yet. Now free kick for the visitors as we approach the final minute of this first half with Alicia Terry fouled. Oh, a race for the ball, and now a late chance, and a goal for Belize. And they have some hope before halftime. We mentioned they'd had a couple half opportunities, and Velasquez makes one of those count as she was able to beat the last defender and slot it home. And Belize on the score sheet and trailing by only 2 going into halftime now. It was very sloppy again from the Dominican Republic, and having been warned a couple times in this first half, this time they do get punished. And finally, it was Gabriela Cuevas who had scored earlier in the half, who was beaten when it looked like she was in good position to deal with this, just gets muscled off it too easily by Velasquez. And then Velasquez with a good finish. Goalkeeper rushing out, not a lot of space, but able to knock it past her and give Belize something to hang on to going into halftime, even though they still trail. We've had the 2 minutes. Let's see if Isabella Barrias allows additional time for the Dominican Republic to attack here. Nope, that's the end of the first half. So, a match that the Dominican Republic appeared to have very well in hand. They're still in a healthy position, but not quite as healthy as they were just a few seconds ago. Belize, in the final minute of first half stoppage time, put themselves on the board through Velasquez after Reed and Asenjo and Cuevas had given the Dominican Republic a 3-goal cushion midway through the first half. So, with 45 gone and 45 still to go in this Concacaf W Qualifier in Group D, it is far from settled now. It is the Dominican Republic 3, Belize 1. Well, a fun first half for the neutral here in the Dominican Republic, with the home side heavily favored and in desperate need of all 3 points, and they certainly went about it in a good way for most of this first half. They were knocking on the door early on, had some chances that went wide of goal. They were finding lots of space down the flanks, and they were serving in dangerous crosses, and that one was flicked wide off the head of Angelina Vargas. But from a corner, they would open the scoring, and it was a firm header planted into the back of the net by the defender Brianne Reed. Again, as the veteran member of this squad, got a great moment to celebrate the center back. Center backs, of course, love scoring from set pieces. And it was 1-0 to the Dominican Republic in the 16th minute. And then just 2 minutes later, felt like directly from kickoff, they were right back in again. And right in the back of the net again, this time from Maya Asenjo. And it's this touch right here to take her past the defender and through on goal, and a neat finish from there. She slid it into that far side netting. And suddenly the Dominican Republic were 2 goals ahead in the 18th. Calm and composed from Asenjo. And you feared for Belize at that point that this was really going to get out of hand. And indeed, just a few minutes after that, it got further out of hand seemingly. A glanced header that kissed off the post and into the net once again, this time from Gabriela Cuevas, who was probably just trying to flick it on, but it turned out to be placed perfectly and went in without further help. Initial cross from Winabian Peralta. And so it was 3-0 to the home side midway through the first half, and you expected more goals to be on the way shortly. Not how it turned out in the first half, though, and Belize had a couple of chances, and finally they took one after very sloppy Dominican defense, and it was good strength from Calidia Velasquez to muscle a couple defenders off the ball and finish tidily past the keeper. Once and twice, really, the Dominican Republic should have dealt with that. They just never did, and Velasquez on hand to benefit from it, and it gives Belize just a glimmer of hope heading into halftime. A game that appeared to be done midway through the first half is not now. Halfway through, 3-1 to the Dominican. So we'll see if that goal could spark Belize. As we look at our halftime statistics, 13-3 in shots for the home side, 4 on target, 72% of the ball. They had all 9 corners. I said it looked like they were going to get into double figures in that category in the first half. Not quite. They fell just shy, but still mostly one-way traffic, but just a 2-goal lead. As we head for half number 2, we'll see if Belize can use that late goal to maybe generate some more belief and some more opportunities in the second half, or if the Dominican Republic can get right back on the front foot and pull further away. Once again, our second half comes your way from Cibao in just a moment.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for this group of players. They win the Concacaf Under-20 Championship.
This is obsession. The beautiful sickness. You tell yourself it's just a game. A thing to pass the time. But time starts to bend around it. This is football, a madness that ties strangers together and tears friends apart. And these are its most epic battles.
This broadcast is copyrighted by Concacaf for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of Concacaf is strictly prohibited.
Mucha. Juega bien,
Coming back for the second half here in the Dominican Republic from Santiago de los Caballeros and the Estadio Cibao. It is the home side, the Dominican Republic 3 and Belize 1. Belize with a late goal in the final seconds of the first half, just to add a bit of intrigue to this second half. Dominican Republic big favorites in this game, a game where they really must win to have a chance to keep pace with Haiti and with Suriname early on at the top of Group D in these Concacaf W Qualifiers. Remember, 6 groups, only the 6 group winners in these qualifiers, which conclude in April, going through to the final tournament. Concacaf W Championship final tournament will be played in November of this year, and that, of course, determines who goes through to the FIFA Women's World Cup in 2027 and to the Olympics in 2028. So all those dreams at stake on nights like this for the Dominican Republic, who want to continue their growth as a program after reaching that first ever CONCACAF W Gold Cup a couple of years ago. They also reached the U17 Women's World Cup in 2024. It was really a banner year for their program thus far. So they want to keep that momentum going. And of course, Belize also have improved so much this decade. They make a change coming out of halftime as they send on Shamika Lambie. She replaces Sabrina Eiley, it appears. We'll confirm that in a moment, but Lambie, the first substitution of the match. She replaces Elva Nunez, so 15 for 6. And now the Dominican Republic making a change as well as they send on Giovanna Dionisio. She comes on for Angelina Vargas. So center referee Isabel Barrias ready to get this second half underway. It will be Belize to kick things off. They're in the white with the blue sleeves. The Dominican Republic in the dark blue and the red socks. So we're back underway in the Dominican Republic. A 3-1 advantage for the home side, but Belize creating just a little bit of doubt just before halftime. And drawing a line under what had been a couple of shaky defensive moments for the Dominican in the first half. They hadn't been punished until right before the end, but a couple of back passes and situations that they didn't deal with very well. Now, if Belize can get back on the attack in the second half, they'll hope to maybe expose more of that shakiness again. Let's see if they can cause it to grow and cause a bit of doubt. Confirmation of the changes is the Dominican Republic with those 3 goals in a 7-minute span in the first half. This ball toward the end line doesn't quite stay in play, but that's the idea from Belize. Put that back line under some pressure and see how they respond early in this second half. That was well defended by Joshua Bernardez. A ball that looked like it might bend around that back line and set Maya Asenjo free. It was Asenjo who scored one of those 3 goals in the first half. Looking for space to deliver this cross. That is blocked out. This will be the 10th corner of the match already for the Dominican Republic. They had all 9, remember, in the first half. They take this one short, which they didn't do in the first half. And then they swing it in toward the near post. It runs all the way through, and it's fumbled, and they score. Oh, mistake from Angelica Lopez in goal for Belize, and the Dominican Republic reestablished that 3-goal cushion just 2 minutes into the second half. Looks like Asenjo has her second of the match. It's a difficult moment, though, for Angelica Lopez. The cross wasn't dealt with by her defense, but she should have dealt with it then and maybe just took her eye off it for a moment. Maybe a slightly difficult bounce, but still one a goalkeeper would expect to pick up without incident. And Asenjo on hand for the opportunistic finish.
Gol para la República Dominicana. En el minuto 48 por la número 9.
So those hopes that Belize would have had going into halftime and coming out of halftime that maybe they could build on that late goal. Although that's another slack moment from the Dominican, which they're able to sweep up through Brianne Reed. That's 3 or 4 back passes where they put themselves under pressure tonight and nearly did so again. Still, disappointing for Belize, having gotten themselves somewhat back in the match just before half. And they'd started the first minute or so of the second half decently as well. But the first attack that they faced in half number 2, fairly simple mistake, leads to a simple goal against, and now they're facing a mountain to climb once again. And the Dominican Republic threatening for more right away. Now wide it goes. Cross in. Now Asenjo had a chance maybe for her hat trick. Lots of spaces opening up either direction. Belize now with room on the counter, but not able to pick out somebody forward. Now the Dominican look to counter. Could be the chance for the hat trick here. It runs through to the goalkeeper. Well, Asenjo running that line. Back on the ball here, using her strength. That's a wonderful return ball for Alyssa Oviedo. Defender across to deal with it. Now it's Nadia Colon. And her cross to the back stick and headed just wide. Oh, it was a good ball in, and it looked like goal number 5 for the Dominican Republic for just a moment. This will be a free kick coming up as well. It's Lila Algarin who came on at halftime as well. She was the other substitution that the Dominican Republic made. She was the one who headed just wide a moment ago. Jasmine Diaz and Winabian Peralta around this free kick. Nice delivery in, met on the volley, and that was Asenjo looking for her hat trick again. Now Belize go on the counter, and they have a player all alone down the middle, and they couldn't pick her out. Well, that was Sabrina Eiley, the captain, running into so much space down the middle of the pitch. Spotted just a fraction of a second too late, I think. Gave the defense enough time to cut down the passing angle toward her. Good switch of play out to this left side for Nadia Colon. And then Colon looks to reverse it. Peralta back wide. This can be kept in play if they choose to, but going to be on Peralta does not and settles for the corner. Lucia Marte, another one of the more veteran players on this Dominican side. Return ball from that short corner and play to the backside. All kinds of bodies queuing up for it there for the Dominican Republic. Lopez got something on it in goal for Belize. And now it'll be a throw. Lucia Marte played until recently for Watford in England. Now playing for Wellington Phoenix in Australia. One of their most active players over the last few years. Born in England to Dominican parents, also holds Spanish nationality. Was a former Spain U23 youth international. Played for Tottenham in the WSL in England. Actually scored Spurs' first ever WSL goal against Arsenal in the 2020 North London Derby. Also played for Real Betis and then Watford. Adelaide United in Australia as well, as here comes Lopez to gather this one. So there's a sign of the quality that the Dominican Republic do have in their side. It's why they've been improving so rapidly, why they were able to qualify for a tournament like the W Gold Cup a couple of years ago. And the U17 Women's World Cup, for that matter. 10 minutes into this second half, they have a comfortable lead over Belize. 3 goals in the first half, and then very early in the second, Asenjo with her second. Velasquez, the lone goal for Belize so far. And a free kick for the Dominican. Belize, a little bit more space on the counter in this second half when they do gain the ball. This is Asenjo. 2 goals already tonight. Oh, wonderful reverse ball to the end line. And an excellent ball as well from Colon, and it was Oviedo unleashing. She thought she should have a corner, but it's given as a goal kick. Dominican Republic happy to knock the ball around for now. They are heading to the top of Group D as things stand. They would go above Suriname on goal differential. They'd both be on 4 points. Of course, Haiti with just 1 match played on 3, and they are, as we discussed at length in the first half, the prohibitive group favorites, but Dominican Republic will get their shot at Haiti next month in that April international window, and they have a shot at a 5th goal here. Tons of bodies breaking beyond the back line, and the pullback comes all the way across, and it is number 5. Winabian Peralta, and then Alyssa Oviedo on the receiving end, and Oviedo makes it 5-1 to the Dominican. Well, the release down the right side was excellent. It was Asenjo who left it. Such a good step over, and unselfish as well, since she's on a hat trick. And a simple finish then for Oviedo, who made no mistake. Watch Asenjo. If that's a deliberate leave, that's outstanding. And so Oviedo, the captain, adds her name to the score sheet tonight. Now the long ball as they look for number 6. Goalkeeper should deal with that, though. So 3 goals in the first half, 2 so far since the break for the side playing at home tonight here at the Estadio Cibao. Belize scoring just before halftime through Kalidia Velasquez. And with 60 minutes played and 30 to go. Such a packed calendar in Concacaf and in World Soccer this year. Concacaf Champions Cup well underway as we're headed for the round of 16 in a couple weeks' time. Dominican Republic will have a free kick, it appears, just inside that touchline. Now, this year we've already had the W U17 qualifiers back in January and early February. The men's U17 qualifiers in early February, the U20 qualifiers still in progress. Those will wrap up in a few days' time. And these W qualifiers in these March and April international windows. That FIFA playoff tournament, don't forget, that's coming up late in March, with Jamaica and Suriname still alive, and a chance to complete their journey to the World Cup this summer. This free kick for the Dominican Republic floated in. Taken back by Asenjo and Jasmine Diaz. Asenjo makes herself available wide and receives it again. Good strength from Brianne Reed, who scored the opening goal in the first half. Well, that was drilled with the right foot. It was a good-looking strike from Winabian Peralta, but hit a couple bodies and can be taken by Lopez. Referee's whistle indicates another free kick for the Dominican Republic. Winnipeg Peralta brought down that time by Michaela Bowden, who plays for SoCal Blues Soccer Club, one of a couple U.S.-based players that Belize has in their squad. Michaela Bowden, their most experienced defender, one of their leaders. Peralta ready to take. Peralta's ball in. Daliana Gomez hasn't had any saves to make tonight outside of the one goal that Belize scored. There's been one other shot on target from them. Under a bit of pressure from Velasquez, but gets rid of it. Bowden was shown a card a moment ago. That's the first booking of tonight's match. And another free kick for the home side. This is collected by Lopez with about 25 minutes remaining. Again, Haiti will next be in action on the 3rd. And they go to Paramaribo to face Suriname. Again, a game they will be favored in. A group they are certainly favored in, but that is a tricky trip. And so the Dominican Republic will be hopeful that maybe they just might drop points in that one. Allow them to come back to the rest of the group. Now with their +9 goal differential after Haiti beat Belize 9-0 in their opener in late November, unlikely that the Dominican Republic would be top the group even if Haiti did drop points to Suriname, unless they lost. Still though, as that back pass puts the goalkeeper in some difficulty and Lopez able to handle it eventually. Still, the Dominican Republic hoping that maybe they could reel Haiti in before they play each other in April. Of course, the way things are looking now, it would seem that the Dominican Republic would go into that match in April having to win, that a draw wouldn't be enough, but still a lot of soccer to be played between now and then. Oh, that's good footwork along the end line. That's where the goal that they conceded just before halftime will annoy the Dominican Republic, though, even though it doesn't look as though it will impact the outcome tonight in terms of the destination of the 3 points. That goal differential is important, especially if Haiti do drop points. There's a chance maybe to add a goal, but it's blocked out for a corner instead. Change coming up, and it will be for the Dominican Republic as they'll send on Natalie Bruno. Looks like they'll also send on Catherine Gonzalez. Lucia Marte, one of the players coming off. Catherine Gonzalez plays for Fort Lauderdale United FC in the Gainbridge Super League. Alyssa Oviedo, the captain, the other player who's come off after she scored their 5th goal. As we wind into the final quarter of this match. Outswinging ball lifted in. Goalkeeper not able to handle it cleanly, still alive, and forced wide at the expense of another corner. Well, Angelica Lopez has had a couple of those adventurous moments in goal tonight. Unfortunately, it was her fumble that directly led to the Dominican Republic's fourth goal and nearly led to another there.
Damas y caballeros, sustitución en el minuto 68 para la República Dominicana. Entró al partido la número 6, Natalie Bruno. Salió del partido la número 11, Alisa.
From that subsequent corner, intricate work along that far side from the Dominican, and then the cross in is this time off a player in dark blue, and it will be a goal kick. So with 6 groups in play in this competition, 6 spots being decided in the final tournament in November to join the United States and Canada as we get set for another Dominican Republic free kick. Winnipie Peralta taking another foul. She's been fouled about a half dozen times tonight, it seems. Puerto Rico and Mexico, the main favorites in Group A. Mentioned Jamaica favored to win Group B, but right now Nicaragua on top of that group with 2 wins from 2. Guyana also in there. Don't write them off after they won earlier today over Dominica. Guatemala and Costa Rica, both in Group C. Costa Rica will be the favorites there, but Guatemala will certainly have an opportunity. Bermuda have 3 points as well. Talked about this group, Group D, quite a bit tonight. Suriname, Dominican Republic, and Haiti, along with Anguilla and Belize. This free kick played in short and then returned to the substitute, Catherine Gonzalez. And then the ball over the top is read by Lopez. So we're into the final 20 minutes of this one. The reverse ball from Peralta for Asenjo, who's still on a hat trick. Then to the top of the area, and the effort high and wide from Gonzalez. Group E, meanwhile, Panama, huge favorites in that group, but Cuba's there, Curaçao's there. Aruba actually won their first match against St. Kitts and Nevis, so they have 3 points from 1 match played thus far. Group F has El Salvador and Honduras, along with Trinidad and Tobago, so that's a very tough group. Here come the Dominican Republic again. There were some half-hearted shouts for a penalty from the stands, at least, but players not really protesting, and on we go with the Dominican Republic leading by 5-1, thanks to 3 in the first half, 2 so far in the second. 2 for Maya Asenjo, 1 each for Oviedo, Cuevas, and Reed. Now running the line, but just offside. It's a clever idea, the way they worked that ball forward, the Dominican Republic. There's some very good patterns of play. Just a bit early with the run, though, was Catherine Gonzalez. Trying to bend her run, trying to check up. Just went a half step too soon. Change now for Belize. Looks like Joshua Bernardez coming off. Sanea Apollonio checks in for them. Also, Kenya Perez has come on for Alicia Terry. Winnabian Peralta. Ball square, looking for the chipped return. Falls on the backside. Taken in and stepped onto her left, and then deflected. And another corner. Well, Lila Algarin had visions of an international goal, and for a moment it looked like it had opened up for her thanks to her good footwork, chopping under her left there, but one defender was still in the way. Lila Algarin, one of the players who plays in the United States. Fight for that ball, and the foul goes against the Dominican Republic this time. Another whistle, and it's another Belize free kick. Belize would have hoped to have asked a few more questions of the Dominican Republic's backline by this point in the second half, having caught them out in the final seconds of the opening 45 and gotten themselves temporarily back in the game a bit. They've not been able to put them under much pressure since. Bit of pressure here. Player went over for Belize, and then the first time hit, and a boot flying up in the air along with the ball. That's kept in play, was it? No, not quite. By Winnabian Peralta. Well, Lydia Velasquez scored late in the first half, but lost a boot in that shooting attempt that time. This is a free kick again for Belize. Infraction against Peralta. Michaela Bowden takes the free kick. Reed, Asenjo, Cuevas, and Oviedo, the goal scorers for the Dominican Republic. Velasquez, with almost the final kick of the first half, scored for Belize. Nadia Colon hobbled slightly, as is Shamika Lambie. It was a clever touch forward, and now they have a chance to release over the top. Foot race on. Asenjo trying to get in behind. She is in behind, looking for the hat trick, and then wanted to chop it back onto her left. And the defender able to recover. And now the flag is up. It's more good work on the ball. That was Jasmine Diaz. This is a skilled group, the Dominican Republic. They will be able to pose a test to Haiti later in this tournament, you suspect, when they face off on April 17th. Haiti will still be favorites. This comes in and is taken cleanly by Lopez. Haiti, though, with so much firepower. Again, they beat this Belize side 9-0 in late November. So they are favorites in this group for a reason. But the Dominican Republic knew they had to win tonight to get themselves a chance at staying within reach after they had to settle for that 2-2 draw with Suriname in the group opener in late November. Great ball again. First cross blocked. Second ball, trying to slide it into the path of Algaran. Taken down by Peralta. Lots of wrestling, and then the free kick is awarded to the Dominican Republic. A lot of contact from both players, but a bit too much contact from Valine Lambert. So into the final 10 minutes we go. Dominican Republic looking to add gloss to this scoreline and improve their goal differential, which is currently +4, not just tonight, but in the group because of their draw in their opening match. Drilled into the near post. Goalkeeper again. Angelica Lopez, not the cleanest initially. For just a moment, it looked like it might creep behind her. 24 shots now for the Dominican Republic, 4 for Belize. Belize searching for a consolation goal. It is Velasquez who scored in the first half and sends this one over the top. It's a decent look. Maybe lost her footing at the crucial moment, sliding backwards, falling back as she made contact. It was a good 1-2. And with a cleaner connection there, she had a chance to possibly beat Odeliana Gomez in goal, but I think that plant foot just started to slide a bit. Well, Wayne Casemiro, it's such an uphill task that he was facing when he took over several years ago, and he's done an admirable job with this Belize program, building them up. Not quite from nothing. They did have a team before he took over, but remember, they'd never even taken a point from a competitive match, much less won one, and he's changed all that. But against the likes of Haiti, and now against the Dominican Republic, there is certainly still distance to be bridged. Space opening up again, but not quite able to exploit it with that through ball. It was Jasmine Diaz. Goalkeeper should make this hers, and does. Maya Asenjo still hunting for that hat trick, with a goal in either half. Asenjo back on it, feeds a teammate. The room is wide again for Peralta. Pass to her was left a bit short. It'll be a corner. Taken quickly and short as they catch Belize out. And now it's curled in and they score. Beautiful finish. 6-1 to the Dominican Republic, and that one for Winnebia Peralta. A shrug of the shoulders. She made it look easy, and the Dominican Republic, outside of a couple moments, have made it look easy tonight. Winnebia Peralta in all kinds of space, but still takes some quality to do that, whether you're given as much room as you'd like or not. And her celebration would indicate that she meant to do that that wasn't intended to be a cross to the back post. And I think she was trying to shoot. She had so much space, why not? It's a great finish. Change directly following that goal brings on Renata Mercedes in place of Brianne Reed, who opened the scoring, remember, with that planted header from a corner in the 16th minute that has set the Dominican Republic on their way to this increasingly comprehensive victory.
Sustitución para la República Dominicana en el minuto 85. Entró al partido la número 23, Renata Mercedes. Salió del partido la número
22. Late challenge there after the ball was gone, and Peralta, who is, again, it's a goal that she deserved a moment ago because she has taken a number of sore ones tonight. Been on the receiving end of contact seemingly every 5 minutes or so at least. Down by the corner now, looking to at least win a corner. The substitute, Natalie Bruno, plays club soccer in South Florida. This will be a Belize throw. So 3 goals in the first half and now 3 in the second half for the Dominican. Good feet to serve it out wide. This is Colon. Peralta. Chopping onto the left foot again. Gonzalez. And then Peralta. Taking more contact yet again. This has been a strong sequence from the Dominican Republic. They can't quite create a goal on the end of it this time. Belize unable to get out. Gonzalez strikes it hard and low and wide. Catherine Gonzalez, very creative player. I mentioned she plays for Fort Lauderdale United. This was Stella Tapia with the footwork before that. Catherine Gonzalez, though, played in Denmark before coming to the new USL Super League a couple of years ago. Played for Carolina Ascent in 2024. They won the inaugural Players' Shield. And then moving to Fort Lauderdale United this season. It was Catherine Gonzalez, you may remember, actually, who scored the only goal of that play-in match against Guyana 2 years ago that sent the Dominican Republic through to the group stage proper of that first ever Concacaf W Gold Cup. So that was a historic goal and a milestone moment both for her and for this program. Known for being able to shoot from distance, you may remember that goal. It came from just outside the area as this is played in and just a bit beyond Maya Asenjo, who continues to hunt for the hat trick. Final minute of the 90. And this will be a Belize free kick. So winding towards second half stoppage time, and fourth official Odette Hamilton will tell us how much of that there will be momentarily as Belize line up this late set piece. 2 minutes is the answer. So it is Bowden to run up to this free kick and strike it well, and it's a decent save from Gomez. For just a moment, it looked like it might fly over her fingertips and into the roof of the goal. Certainly wouldn't have been enough to turn the results around for Belize, but would have been a rather spectacular consolation. Remember, they scored with one of the final kicks of the first half. They nearly did so in second half stoppage time, too. And now the other direction. Still time for a hat trick, maybe. Referee takes a long look and think, and now nothing else will come of that, it appears. Maya Asenjo felt she was fouled in the penalty area. Flag had gone up for offside. So we're in the final minute of this match now. Well, I'm sure Betsaida Ubri will feel it wasn't a perfect performance for her side, but they've done what they needed to tonight. Had to win this game no matter what, to stay within range of Haiti, and Suriname for that matter, who can't be counted out yet. Remember, they play Haiti in a few days' time. If they could cause a shock there, they'd be right in the mix in this group too. Final attack for Belize. Comes all the way through instead to Gomez. Referee Isabel Barrias. We play on at her discretion now, beyond the 2 minutes of added time. Maybe time still for one more attack for the Dominican Republic. There is time indeed. Edge of the box. Bit of a clumsy challenge there. Referee not interested in that, though. Looked like there might have been a penalty shout, but again, not going to change the outcome of this match. This is a free kick for the Dominican Republic as we play on. Dominican Republic still hunting that 7th goal in the final seconds of this match. And still they come forward down this right side. Cross in, stays in play, scooped up by Lopez. There is full time, and it's over in Santiago de los Caballeros here at the Estadio Cibao. And the Dominican Republic doing what they came to do in front of their home faithful. 3 goals in the first half, 3 more after the break. Kalidia Velasquez, the lone reply for Belize, but the Dominican Republic always looked as though they were on their way to victory tonight. And goals from Reed, Cuevas, Oviedo, Peralta, and a pair from Maya Asenjo. More than enough to see them, at least temporarily, at the top of Group D. 4 points from their first 2 matches. It's still an uphill battle for them to qualify out of this group, but they are still very much alive, midway through it now, after a comprehensive victory tonight. It finishes here at the Estadio Cibao. Dominican Republic 6, Belize 1.
Gracias por asistir a este partido de las eliminatorias mundiales de la Concacaf en el Estadio Cibao Fútbol Club. Muchísimas gracias a todos ustedes. Que tengan un buen regreso a sus hogares. Muy buenas noches.
Y el tipo me dijo de que mira, espera que yo entre a la casa, yo la pongo.
Well, a strong result for the Dominican Republic playing on home soil tonight in these Concacaf W Qualifiers. They kicked off knowing only 3 points would do, and they found the opening goal in the 16th minute, directly from a corner. Good header from Brianne Reed. Not marked very well, but she still had to finish, and she did so with excellence. And so the center back, one of the most veteran players on this squad, opening the scoring, and then just about 90 seconds later, it was 2. Good footwork from Maya Asenjo to score her first of the night, and the Dominican Republic's second. That little chop around the defender, and then calmly slotting it into the far side of the net. And so after it took them over a quarter of an hour to find their way through this Belize defense, they found their way through it twice in short succession. And then in the 23rd minute, another goal arrived. This one a flick-on that I think was intended just to be a flick-on, but turned out to be a perfect finish. Spinning off that post and into the net once again. And so 3 goals in a 7-minute span. It was Gabriela Cuevas with that third. Just before halftime, Belize did grab one back, and for just a moment put the outcome of the game in doubt. It was good, strong work from Kalidia Velasquez. Not very good defending from the home side, but Velasquez took full advantage. They'd had a couple of those moments in the first half, the Dominican Republic, and finally they were punished just before half. So it was 3-1 at the break, as Velasquez showing good strength and persistence to harass her defender off the ball. And Belize got off to a decent start the first minute or so of the second half as they tried to test that potentially shaky backline further. But then a minute after that, they conceded a corner at the other end, and then this ball in shouldn't have caused too many issues, but unfortunately for Belize, it did, as it was spilled right into the path of Maya Asenjo, who had a very simple finish for her second goal of the night, and the Dominican Republic's fourth. Difficult moment for Angelica Lopez. And for Asenjo, it was a brace, and it was 4-1. Then a wonderful fifth goal for the Dominican Republic later in that second half, as the pullback was allowed to run through by Asenjo and finished off by Alyssa Oviedo. Ball was maybe just slightly behind Asenjo, but if she meant to leave it, it's a wonderful dummy, and I think she did. And then a calm finish from Oviedo. But all about the run down that right flank. The cross in was excellent from Winnebien Peralta. Excellent team goal to make it 5. And then a 6th goal scored by Peralta, who certainly deserved it. She took a lot of punishment tonight on the receiving end of a number of challenges. Had a nice assist for the 5th goal, and then a beautiful curled finish for goal number 6. Good night's work for the Dominican Republic as they triumph by 6 goals to 1. And so the final numbers from this one, the Dominican Republic ending with 27 shots, 10 of them on frame, 6 for Belize and 3 on target. All 15 corners in the match belonged to the Dominican Republic, and so did 70% of the possession. So they expected to dominate and to win well tonight, and that's what they did. And so the updated Group D standings see the Dominican Republic on top for now. Remember, Haiti will play Suriname on the 3rd. That will be crucial. Of course, the Dominican Republic and Haiti will play each other in the last game of this group on April 17th. So much drama to come from around this tournament and around Concacaf over the days and weeks to come. And we look forward to continuing to bring it to you across these channels and networks. For our entire great production team tonight, I'm Donnie Barnes saying good evening from Santiago de los Caballeros and the Estadio Cibao, where again it finished this evening. The Dominican Republic 6, Belize 1.